So with that, I'm going to introduce our first speaker, is Congressman George Holding from the great state of North Carolina, especially representing Raleigh, where there's a large Indian American community. He's very active with NC Impact, the local chapter, the local organization that we collaborate with. The person who is quite involved with that, he's kind of logistically stuck. Otherwise, he was going to introduce the wonderful congressman. But the congressman has played an active role in this relationship. He has met with the leadership when we've asked him to. He's taken a trip to India, and we are really thankful for that. And we'd like to get some perspective from you, Congressman Holding, as what you see with this election marching forward. So please, Congressman Holding. Thank you.
Well, Sanjay, thank you very much. And of course, the first person I want to thank is not here. Prashant Patel, Dr. Patel, from the moment that I got elected, made me extremely aware, acutely aware of the Indian community in my part of North Carolina, and I'm thankful that he did, because it has been a fascinating, really a fascinating set of issues and set of foreign policy concerns to work with in my first term in Congress, culminating in last week when we see the world's largest democracy, 500 million people go to the polls and have a transformative election, truly. And it was a successful election in that it went smoothly. I mean, it's how democracy is supposed to work. And I know intimately how important this election was to the people of India, not only from talking to my own constituents in North Carolina, but having gone to India in December and just seeing the vibrancy and the, in the United States we call the election season kind of the silly season, but that's the silly season on steroids. When I went to India, it was great. It was great to see, and to be introduced to the Indian press in just a baptism of fire. Some of you might know that I led this Codel to India at the request of Chairman Ed Royce, and we went right before Christmas. And the day that we were taking off, Preet Bharara, the United States Attorney in New York, who is a friend of mine, was taking some actions up there, and they effectuated the arrest of an Indian diplomat, which didn't go over too well in India. And so we kind of entered into the Indian scene and a hail of folks who were not happy at all. And the Indian media was right on it, and they chased us all around India. And so I enjoyed dealing with that. It was good to learn what it's like up front. It's what's going on with the U.S. foreign policy and how it is intersected with what's going on in India. I really believe that U.S. foreign policy in this administration has just been adrift, without much foresight or intent in looking ahead and making a long-range plan. And that has impacted to our detriment our relationship with India. I'm in London on a fairly regular basis because another one of my responsibilities is the liaison between the U.S. House of Representatives and the House of Commons and the House of Lords. And in meeting with the British Foreign Office and the way that they have laid the groundwork to have a successful working relationship with the new government in India is a role model that the United States should have been emulating all along. But, that being said, this is a momentous election. The first time in 30 years that you have a outright majority government. So it is my hope, and indeed, something that I've been urging this administration, to turn over a new leaf and engage, because this is the opportunity that the United States, has been looking for in a partner in Asia. There are so many similarities between India and the United States, the largest democracy, the oldest democracy. We share a language that was pretty clear from my visit to India, and there's so many synergies there that if we can capitalize on them, that, Mr. Modi has said that the 21st century will be India's century. Well, I think the 21st century can be the century of a USA-India alliance, in a big way. In my congressional district, we have a lot of businesses that are either U.S.-based businesses or other foreign businesses that are doing business in India, and we have Indian businesses doing business in North Carolina. And I've been able to see firsthand the benefits of a close working relationship. And we need to pair that up with a close working relationship with our governments. It's an incredible, incredible opportunity. We don't have a lot of differences setting us apart. Certainly not like the differences that we see when we look at some of the other countries. You look at China, and you look at, for several decades, people have been forecasting that the United States is going to have this great relationship with China, and that's going to be the business partner that's going to take us into the 21st century and is going to be so profitable for everyone. Well, look at what happened earlier this week. The United States Department of Justice indicted a number of Chinese military officers for hacking and cyber criminal activity. That's not the groundwork for laying a prosperous business relationship. So the opportunities with India are there, and I view it as my job, and I have a number of colleagues who view it as their job, is to push this administration into turning the page, laying down a new groundwork and a firm foundation for this business and economic relationship, strategic partnership with India. I wrote a letter to the president 2 weeks ago outlining who, not a specific individual, but the type of person that I think that we need to appoint as our next ambassador to India. And I think it needs to be someone who is focused on business relationships and economic opportunity between our two countries. So I look forward to working with all of you all in anything where I can be helpful. I think we're all on the same page. It's what we'd like to effectuate and come up with at the end of the day. And it's a long-term project, but it can be beneficial, I think, for all of us. So I extend a hand of friendship, and I look forward to working with you, and look forward to seeing my friend Dr. Patel when he arrives. He ran out of gas on the highway. Literally. Oh, sorry. Don't tell him I told you. But right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Congressman Holding. That was really insightful, and I fully agree. Let's make the 21st century the century of U.S.-India together partnership. For our